Welcome to Rack of the Week 172. Lately we've looked at a few racks that have been pretty wide open, kind of talking about the patterns for a wide open rack. Last week was a big cluster. This week is another example of kind of a clustered rack, one where you've got to exercise patience. I've talked about patience before. It's a hard thing to have the balance because one of the main principles of straight pool is to attack your clusters early, open up the trouble balls early, get to them as soon as you can. The key there is as soon as you can safely. And sometimes that's not till later in the rack. And that's a really hard balance to achieve, to recognize when you've got to have some patience. I chose this rack for that reason, and also because I used the BridgeMate. I'm a sales rep for this new product. It's a new bridge, so you don't have to use the bridge on the end of a stick, and you'll see me shoot 2 shots in a row with that. I don't remember exactly what else happens, but so let's get into the rack and take a look. I know this one starts with pretty standard break shot. The break shot's kind of low, so I'm definitely going to go. I think you can see a little bit of inside English, left English in this case, yeah. So you're just driving that cue ball to the rail, and you don't need a lot of English, just a little bit to get it to turn off that bottom rail. If it didn't hit the 6, it would have come out to center table, which is what you're looking for. So, and I've made a decision pretty quick. I can hit pause right here. I made a decision pretty quick to shoot this 14. I think that's the easiest shot I have. I could, looks like the 6 will go in the side as well. But if we take a look, we've got a clustered rack. Now, not all the balls are in the rack area, but a bunch of them. But there's no side of rack break shots and no below the rack break shots either. So we've really got a lot of trouble here. There's a cluster down here on the rail with the 7 ball. And I can't shoot the 7 from over here. I can't shoot the 7. So these are going to have to be bumped somehow. I have kind of a half a pocket for this 13 ball. So if I get a really good angle on this 13, I can cut it and bump these, but that's going to be a tough angle to get. So got our work cut out for us here, but I just want to stay patient. I've also noticed right away that these 2 balls, they both go in this pocket after the 13 ball is gone. Normally, I might be looking at doing this, shoot the 14, you shoot this ball, and get an angle on the 13 to just go up here and nudge the pack and have these balls back this way as insurance. But the 7 ball doesn't go, so I don't have that opportunity. So it's going to be tricky to get to this rack. I don't remember exactly what I do, so let's take a look. This is a good idea. I'm getting rid of an up-table rail ball immediately. And I may have wanted to stop the cue ball or just bring it straight out here so I could shoot a stop shot on this, but I don't have that. So I'm trying to decide which way I want to go. How do I want to go here? I remember looking at this and thinking, geez, what I'd like to do is follow past the 8 down here so I can get rid of that 13 and then find a way to get it to open these 2 balls and maybe get the cue ball over here so I can shoot this way. When you've got 2 balls tied up here, or for that matter, maybe you've got 2 balls tied up on this rail. What you're looking for is a ball that you can shoot into this pocket. Because if you have this angle, my phone keeps dinging. If you have this angle, it's natural for your cue ball to go this way. And you can open up that cluster. Conversely, if you have tied up balls over here, then you're looking to shoot a ball into this pocket. So you can send your cue ball this way. So this is really tough because I don't have that. These 2 balls only go in this pocket. So how in the world am I going to nudge these balls open? That's the conundrum that I'm kind of dealing with here. But I feel like I have to shoot the 13. The 13 does not help me open up this 7 and whatever that other stripe is, unless if I can land just perfect on it. So I decide I need to get rid of that 13. The aggressive thing to do here would be to shoot this ball on the side and just draw into this 4, but that can go wrong so many ways. You can scratch and get trapped. It's not good. So I'm just bringing the cue ball between these balls, and I'd like to get an angle on that 13 to bump the 7. Obviously, I didn't get that. So I've already identified that I've got these 2 balls to go in this pocket. How can I get there? And it's right here. There's the shot line to the 6. Just get above that shot line, like so. And then your cue ball can drop over to this area, okay? So now I'm taking a look at these balls. Both of these balls will go. So I've got a couple of possibilities. I might get real straight on one of them and I can follow forward and nudge this. I mean, it's still risky because there's no insurance ball. You'd love to have a ball like here, to have an insurance ball back this way, but I don't have that. And the other thing is that if I come low, I can use either of these balls to open these. So that's the idea of the patience. How do you exercise patience? How do you know when it's warranted? And it's because I have more than one problem on the table. You can't deal with them all at once. So because I have an excellent opportunity right now to deal with this problem, I'm going to be patient about dealing with this one. And that's trust in your abilities that you'll get there. You'll develop something and have a chance. But by keeping the cue ball on and high percentage paths, you're not going to turn over the table to your opponent. Even if you don't get those balls open, you're going to be in a position to play a good safety. So that's the key to patience, is making those decisions. That's why at this point, I'm taking a look, standing there and really evaluating my options, and I decide I'm too straight on this 3, but I can draw the cue ball this way. I'm putting my hand in my pocket, and I'm thinking, let's make a real good decision here. So what I end up doing is just drawing the cue ball over here so that I have an angle on the 11 to open this cluster. And then hopefully I'll be able to find a break ball and find a way to open up the 714. So I'm not trying to be too aggressive. Just shoot the high percentage shots, high percentage positional routes, and be patient. Okay? Now I've got a good angle. There's 2 ways to go at this. You can shoot high or low, basically. You can stun the cue ball as well. Stopping the cue ball right here doesn't do any good. So you can either shoot with follow, and then you're hoping that the ball skims off these, and it's going to go this way. I don't like that. Yes, I might get a shot on the 8 this way. I might get a shot on the 4 on the side. I might not. That it almost might get tied up, and the cue ball can even go over here and scratch or go behind these balls. So I don't like going forward. So what I'm going to do is hit this with some, just kind of stun the cue ball. I want to hit this with some speed and stun the cue ball up this way. I feel like these are going to open up. Something might come up this way, and I'll have a shot in the side or in this corner. So that's my decision. Let's see how well that works out. Again, not trying to do anything fancy, just shoot the high percentage, keep the cue ball under control. So as you notice, I didn't even hit it that hard. It just stayed kind of, just kept the cue ball under control. That's what the key is. And this did not turn out well. I don't have a good shot. It would be really nice if I had a ball, something straightforward that I can shoot into this corner pocket. As it is, I've got a shot on this combination 115. It's really deceptive because the 115 is kind of lined up. It doesn't go in the pocket. It's kind of lined up to the point or to this side. And you might think, oh, I just have to cut the one ball a little bit and then I can, play position with the cue ball somewhere down table. And they're very deceptive because the closer these 2 balls are, the more you have to cut the one ball. Now, it's also true that the closer these balls are together, the higher chance you have to actually throw the 15 ball in this direction and get it to go into the pocket, in which case you would hit the one ball on the top side. But I think they're far enough apart that I can't throw them, so I have to cut them. So I've actually got to cut the one ball kind of this direction in order to make that combination. It's not a straight combo by any means. Because of that, I'm hitting the one ball very thin, and I'm gonna let the cue ball go on its natural route. We're hitting this thin, which is going to be 3 rails like this. So I'm actually hoping to get position on this 8 ball. The one ball is going to go this way as well. So I really don't know what's going to happen, but I know I have to hit this thin in order to make the combination. And so just play the natural route with the cue ball, and don't try to control it too much. Knowing where it's going is going to dictate the speed that I want to hit it with. Okay. So actually went to the 4th rail. So if the one ball didn't go somewhere good, you can see I've got a shot on this 8 ball. Okay. So now I'm standing there for a little bit looking at this and doing rack analysis basically. So I've only got 7 balls left. So we're in the end pattern. I've got to figure something out. But patience, even though I still have 2 balls tied up late in the rack, patience is what kept me, is allowed me to keep the cue ball alive. It's in a good position. Right now, I can shoot the 1 ball in the corner and I can shoot the 8 ball. I have 2 very reasonable shots. So now, and I'm also looking at it and seeing, oh, this stripe right here could be a break ball. If that's the break ball, this could be a key ball. So that's what tells me I don't want to shoot this 8 right. I don't want to shoot the 1 ball right now. I want to shoot the 8. Perhaps I can keep these 2 balls for the end of this rack. So if I'm going to shoot the 8, where does the cue ball go? Oh, well, the cue ball naturally off from the 8 is going to go this way. If I can hit the 4 ball full and stop the cue ball right there, I've got an angle. What did I say earlier? On a cut shot in this corner, and that's going to send my cue ball this way naturally. So things are looking up as far as I'm concerned. This is, that's what I'm playing for. Now, this isn't easy. It's real easy to miss the 4 ball or hit this side of the 4 and knock this ball down and ruin your break shot. This doesn't have to go well, but I've given myself a chance. And the cue ball even went through the 4 ball, so I absolutely have got an even better angle. So I went and looked at the angle. Now, what's going to happen off of this? I don't know. I am trying to hit the 14 because the 14 should probably stay there, knock the 7 over, and then the cue ball is going to go to the rail and up. So at the very worst, I'm going to have a shot on the 1 on the side. And here I go with the bridge mate. So I'm going to pause this for a second. Yes, I'm going to try and sell a bridge mate. I really think these things are excellent. This is not the one with the roller. This doesn't roll. It sticks to the table. It has a non-slip surface. Imagine if I was shooting this shot with the bridge with the stick. You have to use your left hand to hold the bridge, the stick, still. You don't have to do that here. So you have much better balance. Along with that, the bridge is, the bridge head, like a Batman bridge or whatever bridge the bridge head is, it slides around on the table. It's slippery. It's hard. That's why you have to use your left hand to hold it in place. All that's gone with this thing. It's once you put it down, it stays there. So you've got to really, kind of play with it and before you set it down so it's aligned perfectly, which means you have a much higher chance of being aligned with the shot because you have to purposely get that aligned. And you don't get to just slide it around once you're down on the shot. It really, and then you have a tube to stroke through instead of just a little slot in the bridge head. These things are awesome. They're amazing. They're so much better. And as you can see, as far as your fundamentals, it's exactly the same. I've got the overhand like this, where you shoot like that, lining up my head square behind the cue. The fundamentals are identical. It's just that the bridge head is so much better. And so enough of a sales pitch. You can find that on my website. So try and stun into that 14. Let's see what happens. Notice how easy it is to pick that thing up too. If I was shooting a draw shot and I need to get the cue stick out of the way, I don't have to fumble around with both hands. Boom, you just pick your cue stick up and that bridge is up out of the way. And then I have to use it again so I don't even take it off. Now notice I'm using my left hand to lift up the cue and line it up perfectly and then, not quite perfect because it's non-slip. It ain't going to move once you set it down. So get it perfect. So easy to use. And look, just pick it up with one hand. All right. So this turned out ideal. I didn't hit the 14 the way that I wanted to, but I hit the 7. I kind of got fortunate at double kissed and I had a real easy shot on the 7. But then the pattern hopefully becomes obvious. But you could do it a couple of different ways because the cue ball stopped here. I could have shot the 7 and just come up here, tap the 1 in the side, and then bring the cue ball over here for the 8. And then I have an angle on the 14 to go 2 rails out for the break shot. And I'm not going to fault anybody for doing that pattern. I think that's just fine. I even though, I'd prefer my key ball into the side pocket to be out here, but it's so close and it's below the side pocket. So as long, the shot line's kind of here. So as long as I get my cue ball above that shot line, it's super easy to go to the rail and out. Okay. And so for that reason, I decide to use this strike ball down here as the K2 rather than the key ball. So 1 ball, come over here and then shoot this and go this way and then come out for my break shot. So those are the 2 end patterns with those only 4 balls left on the table that I think are the most reasonable. Now I do something here that I never used to do or I used to do much less frequently. I'm a draw person. If I'm given the option, I usually choose to shoot low on the cue ball instead of high. And there's a video I need to make a video about that because I'm learning about that. You have more control over your speed and direction by shooting above center of the cue ball. For most of my career, I would shoot this ball and just kind of pinch it and hold the cue ball and let the cue ball slide this way and get my angle in that way. But I'm kind of changing. You can just as easily shoot with a high ball there, have perfect control over the speed of the cue ball and get the angle that you need. Anyway, now just make sure you come above the shot line, as I mentioned, and then a little reverse English. I like reverse English on here because it speeds the kill. It kills the speed of the cue ball, so you have a better control over the distance. So when you're down on this shot, you're really visualizing. I mean, you're not going to miss the ball, right? So the break ball's here. So you're really visualizing this spot when you're down on that one ball, just to gauge that speed with that reverse English. And I think you can get real good control that way. Anyway, this is a little bit, this break ball is a little bit above center and I'm inside of it. So this is the one, don't remember what I hit. I think I'm inclined to hit low. And I'm probably hitting the bottom side of this ball and coming back to the side rail. I don't remember though. Yeah, I'm hitting low. Just like that. Oh, and it even went, had the angle to go down table, not just out and back. So that's a real good result. Now I've got a pretty much a wide open rack, and almost no problems at all. And notice my only shot is a super easy shot. And that's going to happen with that type of break shot quite often. You're going to have the cue ball goes to the bottom rail. You're going to have a shot in one of the corner pockets. Probably shoot this 14, bring the cue ball back out center table. It wouldn't be a mistake to go ahead and play position for the 1 because it's super easy to go from the 1 to the 7 or to the 5 or to this stripe. Just an ideal rack and opportunity to keep this run going. Okay, that's a little lesson in patience. I hope you like that. Go to shortstoponpool.com. Check out the Bridgemate. It's awesome. It breaks into 2 pieces, so you can carry it in. It goes down real flat, so you can carry it in your case. You can carry it in your pocket. How about that? If you need a bridge, you don't even have to leave the table. Just reach in your pocket and pull your bridge out. Put it on your shaft and shoot. I think we're going to start seeing this everywhere in pool, including with the pros. Remember, if you're going to play straight pool, play it straight. Thanks for watching, and see you next week on Rack of the Week. Bye.